Donkey Harrier, just to have.
This is Heather's fourth.
Only one with one eye.
Only with one eye. Goes by the name of Lucky now.
It's a dwarf donkey.
Maybe your
dwarf donkey and mixes all sorts of other things.
Oh, yeah. Got two eyes. We're getting ready to take our ride here. Yeehaw, yeehaw. These are mule donkeys. There's one eye missing. Barn is going to take us out. Yes, I got it.
Hey, Dad. Stop.
Over. Let's get up. Yep. Also known by the nickname of Thanksgiving here. Old Gus the Gobbler is. In fact, Libby's going to be the one that does the honor of cooking it this Thanksgiving, aren't you, Libby? Ho! Get up, come on. Ordeal before he returned back to England. This neighborhood today bears his name. We call it Anson Borough. The wisteria has come back into bloom. Well, it's supposed to bloom this time of the year. It blooms in mid-March. Blame it on El Nino, global warming. It's all blooming now, though. Let's get up, come on. Okay. Though it's not nearly as brilliant as it was before. A lot of people hate it because they say it suffocates whatever it grows on. Okay. Now, in 1838, a very important part of the history of Charleston began on this street corner, right about where the Edward McCready house is. See, that's where the Anson Borough fire of 1838 began. Hey, look, it's a new bug. Guess there's a waiting list to get those things. Pretty neat cars there. Anson Borough fire began here, and from this location it swept north and it swept west and burnt down virtually the entire neighborhood. When they rebuilt later in the 1840s, the city outlawed wooden structures in this neighborhood. They simply said it was too much of a fire hazard. That's why all of Ansonboro is built out of brick today. Now, directly ahead of us on the right-hand side, a building which we're not going to pass, constructed of brick. That's constructed of Philadelphia red brick. Brick imported from the north, made with a lot of clay, rather than a lot of sand, like the local gray brick. The Philadelphia red brick is considered a lot more durable since it is made with a lot of clay, but also very expensive since it has to be imported from the north. So you don't see it very often. When you do, it's a status symbol. The folks that built that home would want everybody to know they had enough money to import that red brick from the north. That's why they didn't stucco it over. Get up, come on. Now to our right, this is St. Johannes Lutheran Church. Services held in German here, all the way up until 1924, at which point in time it became very unfashionable to do anything in German, even hold church services. 13, there's not an older residence in these two states than this one. It's the home of Colonel William Rhett. Now get a load of this. We're about a 5-minute carriage ride north of the market, which was in turn a 5-minute carriage ride north of the old walled city, which is where all the action was in 1713 when this home was built almost 300 years ago. What on earth was this guy thinking, building his home out here in the middle of the sticks? Remember, it wasn't automobiles at the time. You either got around on horse or you walked. Well, what he was thinking of is the English country gentleman. He was looking up to them. They all had their homes outside of the city, so this was his version in America. And quite a mammoth structure it is. Get a load of the porches. Get a load of this one. One of my favorite homes in the city of Charleston. Now, the flank buildings would have historically been maybe separate kitchen houses, separate laundry houses, but now they've been subdivided into separate residences. Out in front of the Reynolds Mansion, we have an example of a gentleman's yard. Get up, come on, so named. because there's no mowing involved here. That's why. All right.
A firehouse.
Yeah, it's not just any firehouse. It's the oldest firehouse in continual use in the city of Charleston. They have the bay doors open today. Get a load of the look inside the second bay door. You'll see an early horse-drawn fire carriage and an early diesel engine, which they've recently been restoring right over here. And if you walk around in front of this firehouse, you get to see the miniature fire engine. So you get a load of this. The firehouse dates from the early 19th century, and it has bay doors which were there in order to accommodate horse-drawn fire carriages, not the large engines of today. So, when they motorized the fire engine a piece, now I don't know what a typical engine goes for, but everybody says it's not quite that expensive. That's the St. Andrew's Lutheran Church, another example of the German influence in this neighborhood. We're going to see more of that later. And on the front of it, the beautiful wrought iron. This is what Charleston's famous for, is its wrought iron work. This is all iron hammered out on a blacksmith's anvil, not melted down and cast in molds. Takes all kinds of muscle to do iron like this. Get up, come on. But it is considered a lot more durable than the cast iron because something happens chemically to iron when you melt it down, which makes it very, very brittle. Hip, hip, come on. All of this iron was done by one man named Philip Simmons. When he began working in the city of Charleston, he was the youngest blacksmith. When he retired 2 years ago at the age of 86, he was the oldest blacksmith. He worked for over 75 years and is responsible for about 50% of the ironwork that you find in the city of Charleston. There really is no stone native to the peninsula. You got to travel all the way up near Columbia, South Carolina to find the nearest quarriable stone. So they never built out. It's too expensive to them. I still don't today. Rather, always brick. But because they considered brick a poor man's building material, which is kind of ironic by our standards, as you can see, they'd often stucco over the brick if they didn't rouge it, and go so far as to score lines into that stucco wall sweat, just to make it look like stone, to make it look like more money than they really had. I like that example just because, as you can see, they're not so concerned stuccoing over that brick. I'm trying to convince them of something which is the impossible, and that's building a house of stone in the city of Charleston. Okay. Now, Ansonboro, pretty desirable neighborhood in which to reside these days. In fact, earlier in my carriage, I had a fellow from west of the Ashley that said he was trying to buy a home over here, and it wasn't such a simple task. Why is it facade there? You've seen those all over the city of Charleston. You know what those washers are all about? Yeah, exactly. It's from the earthquake. Reminds me each time I see them that we are sighted on an earthquake fault. It's called the Woodstock Fault, and it's rather active. August 31st, 1886, major earthquake struck the city of Charleston, and this is how they repaired all of those structures which were severely damaged. Ho! See each one of these washers. Ho! Ho! Each one of those washers denotes the end of a steel rod. And now if you were to walk around the home on the other side, there'd be another washer in the exact same spot. It's the end of another steel rod. In the very center of the structure, the two steel rods are connected with a turnbuckle. You give that a couple of twists each month, and slowly, over the course of multiple years, you screw your home back together. That's how those work. You never have to look far to see them. Basically, any masonry structure built prior to 1886 is going to have them on it. And virtually all of Ansonboro, all the houses in this neighborhood, you're going to find those as well. Hip, hip, come on. All right, there's 97, a Spoleto Festival there. All of that ironwork's all by Philip Simmons. You go up Anson Street, just beyond this little chapel, there's a crazy little yard where he's done all kinds of neat wrought iron sculptures as well. So if you're walking up this way, take your time to check that one out. Charleston, it too is pre-revolutionary, though they added the bay windows and the mansard roof later in the 19th century to Victorianize it. You can look all the way through the central hallway of the Barksdale Inn. That's there for ventilation purposes, once again, allow the breeze to blow through and cool it in the summertime. And across the street at King George IV Inn, we have a color which is not legal in the city. More tractor trailer roofs than any other live oak tree in the city. That's why it's so famous. So I'm going to stop here and let all this traffic by. Now, when the early settlers upstream, these days in America, get up, come on. And I love the stand today. Rather, that system is used to this pump. Now, throughout the entire ceremonies, the women wear a white dinner gown, and the men wear white dinner jackets. So now the typical cap and gown ceremony, I never heard about that before moving down here, but a lot of the local private high schools do it that way as well. So evidently, it's sort of a low-country thing. Now, throughout the entire ceremonies, the women carry roses. They carry 6 red roses. And the men, historically, wore the number of roses on their boutonniere equal to the number of years in which it took them to earn their degree. That became too embarrassing time. So they just reduced that number to 1. So these days the men wear one red rose on their boutonnieres. Get up, come on. I'm going to pull. Have you folks, are you familiar with the Charleston single house? It's a very popular floor plan. We've seen a ton of these things already on this tour, but I've yet to point any of them out, really. We'll go ahead and talk about that now. This Charleston single house is all the way around us. Every home in view is a Charleston single house, which are open, except for that one. That one's not open. That door's closed. That's not the main door to the home. As you can see, the main doors to the homes, halfway down the piazza on the left, on the right, whatever side of the street it is, respectively. That's the door to the piazza itself. There to keep your visitors from interrupting whatever you may or may not be doing on your piazza. They have to knock and announce their arrival. It's called a privacy door for that reason. And it is a feature of virtually every single home in the city of Charleston as well. Just get up, come on. And by the way, those single homes have absolutely nothing to do with the frontage tax. You're probably going to read it. People are going to tell you at some point in time, residents in the city of Charleston were taxed on the amount of property they had fronting the street. Simply not the truth here in Charleston, like it was in other cities. Now, the oldest home on college lands.
Oh, frat houses.
Come on. Yeah, it's Trudy Road directly up.
Frat houses, fraternity road.
If the fraternities maintain the same standards on the exteriors of the buildings as all the other private residences do. So while they do look good on the outside, no telling what they look like on the inside. Now, across the street is Grace Episcopal Church. The newest of all the Episcopal churches in the city of Charleston. A pretty recent structure. The story of the Good Samaritan is on those bronze doors. You can see the Good Samaritan helping the man on what we believe is, of course, a mule like this. That's not why this one's here. The reason why this one's here is because while Francis Silas Rogers made his fortune as a cotton factor, as a cotton merchant, his real passion, what he wanted to be all of his life, was a fireman. See, this is by far the tallest residence in the city of Charleston. From this location, after he's done working on any given day, he would go up there and relax, often read, sit, and drink, or whatever. But from that site, he would be the first person in the city of Charleston to see a fire break out. He'd also be about the first person to arrive on the scene. He'd be one of the first people to help put out the fire. He invested all kinds of money into the local fire insurance companies. When those failed, he helped establish Charleston's municipal fire. They had to do all kinds of interesting stuff in order to make the five-star hotel. The funniest thing I've heard they've had to do is you walk in the front doors there, there's a big open arm stairway. You can look up the trees just below the cornice. And you can see the steer's heads and the ram's heads, telling you that this was where the beef was sold. Now, not but a week and a half ago was when
Alright. Somewhere out here, this is what the property looks like that we're looking at moving into. Alright, there was the first lot that we looked at, and now she wants to move over and look at the lot over here. See, we have the sunrise setting. There's the light you see right there is the high school. That's what that is right there. High school. We just finished riding through there. That's Centerville Turnpike. There it is. Take another picture when they put the road in.
Holding their pants when they're running.
There's a child out there you can help. Please, call now.
Hey! No, down here. Instead of running out for stamps, shouldn't you be running your business? Imagine a simpler way.
In Charlotte were plagued by all sorts of problems. Oklahoma City, the original site of this year's games, were not prepared for the enormous event, so the AAU asked Hampton Roads at the last minute to step up and try and pull it off a year early. Well, let me take you back to Norfolk last night. Norfolk State University, where the 1998 AAU Junior Olympics threw their biggest party of the year. The opening ceremonies for the games. Now, they had it last night because there were more athletes in town last night than at any other time during the 2 weeks of events. Now, it may not have been as big as the Atlanta Olympics, but it sure had that Olympic spirit, and representatives from all of our cities were proud of what they have accomplished.
I'm not aware in all of the 7 cities if anyone's had a complaint or, I mean, they have really sort of taken over the events and caught everybody up in it, and it's really been a great moving experience for everyone.
I mean, everyone thinks this place is tremendous, and I knew that all along. So all the fans, all the youth, all the coaches, they enjoy the place, and this thing is great.
It certainly is, Billy. The AAU Junior Olympics will continue here in Hampton Roads through Saturday. Afternoon.
I'm gonna be in rubber.
Alright, everyone else is on the other team.
You're gonna get shot.
I'm gonna snap up both of y'all.
Hold on, man. Get over there. Wait. Hey, yo, little man. We are Team Spider.
How many guys do they have? Huh?
Someone left.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Alright, that's right. Let me look at everyone's guns.
15.
Yeah.
There's 15 more.
We got this space. Whoa. How good is that?
15.
Where's Kevin?
I think spiders are at that on that age.
All we gotta do is say paintball game and the whole neighborhood shows up. Kind of scary. Start a war back here.
That's what it sounds like, the way they're operating. They got enough paintballs?
I bought a half a case yesterday.
Like which one is it?
It was the red ones. No, they were just in a bag. Josh, did you bring all your paintballs out here? Did you bring all your paintballs out? No. You need to go get them? Dad will get them.
Here, we're just going to trick them. We're all going to run here and we're going to get up there.
Josh, is it not working?
Yeah, I'm for it. It's just let's do it.
Bill, like, hey, Bill, get up on your
chamber that keep on exploding.
Why?
What it sounds like back here. All back in the woods back there. Those guys out of tanks. There's war dealings going on here.
RT, I got a mini mag.
Hey! Quick!
Huh? About like this. Look at all the man.
Billy, how much are they?
I don't know. $10 now.
What?
Yeah, no, so what?
Look at all the paint on
Your team, we snuck all the way around there, me and Glenn.
The game was way over. I'd have been.
Hey, during the game, man, I snuck around and I got you. You ran out of air going off on me. I was on your team anyway. You weren't?
Yeah, you was.
You were on our team? Okay, well, I hit you anyway.
Somebody else did hit up here.
You didn't hit me.
Almost. No, Steven had 9 ounce. Probably Jason.
I won one. I just didn't steal.
I don't have to see two things. So
Not a thief. I've got 12 ounce, so I wouldn't steal them. I have no reason to steal them.
yeah, I stole and I'm gonna pawn them off.
We gotta play Saturday or Sunday.
I have a reason to steal them. I just didn't think about it.